Welcome to the Weekly Social, folks. Everything Katy, Fulshear, Richmond. Today we have Katrina Katsarelis with Yellow Rose Interior Design. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Sure, happy to be here.
Yes, we also have Joyce Eisenberg with Select Title.
Hi, Richard.
Thanks, ladies. Katrina, tell us a little bit about yourself and your company.
Well, I moved to Katy in 2003 for the good schools like everybody else. And,
Us too.
Yeah, and then everybody followed me. And we love KDIC so much, my husband would commute to the Johnson Space Center. But
Wow.
yeah, he did. So inevitably, we realized in about 2003, there was no media in Katy. And my background is writing. I was a freelance writer.
Okay.
I did a bunch of articles, local and state level and national. And I'm like, we need media in this town. So crazily, we said, well, let's start a magazine. There was nothing. So it was profitable right away. It did
Awesome.
really well. And we are still doing Katy Magazine. It is all digital, so it's a lot easier. But I did miss the creative part, the cover design, the photography, and the 6-page layouts. And my creative gene needed feeding. And I loved that part of Katy Magazine. It was so fun.
Okay.
So that's why with the proceeds from Katy Magazine, we would buy property, okay, and I would fix it up, renovate with my husband. I learned about affordable luxury, things that look amazing but aren't very costly, and that is my specialty.
You have to have an eye for that.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't put cheap stuff in a beautiful single ranch home.
Oh no,
So
I
you
see it all the time.
Yeah, you have to find good products that maybe don't cost an arm and a leg,
Right.
and look unique and special, but not too special that they can appeal to the masses too. You know, so I got really good at that. I started designing for family and friends, and then I got paid for it. So here I am.
Hooray.
Yay!
Joyce, do you have any questions for her?
I do have a question. Do you visit any of the thrift stores to look for good finds, some artwork?
I'm not telling you all my secrets.
Little key. Well, just a tiny little secret.
No, that's a good point. So here's the thing. A lot of people are incorporating vintage and some collectibles into their design, mixing old
Rustic,
with new.
yeah.
Yeah, and it makes it look more curated and special. And even artifacts from your travels. So I do look around, or estate sales or auctions. I do those too. Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I'll find a little treasure, a special little table or a vintage mirror over the fireplace. It looks really nice. So yeah, I do have my tricks like that. Yes.
We have some good resale stores around here.
We
We
do.
do.
Yeah.
Especially in old Katy.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Well, there's new Katy and there's old
Okay.
Katy. A lot of people might not know the difference there.
They prefer historic Katy.
I
Or
just
Katy
saw a
proper.
sign
That too.
that said historic Katy, and I was like, oh, okay, another way to
Yes.
say old Katy.
I live in historic Cinco Ranch, so same thing.
I live in the new west part of Cinco Ranch.
So yeah, that's
yeah,
pretty grown.
it's, oh gosh, 25,000 homes.
That's crazy.
20 plus years to build that neighborhood.
Good for your business and mine, actually. Yeah.
Yes. What styles or trends are you seeing? What's going out and what's coming in?
Okay, so what's coming in, I think, is people are more bold with color now. It's not just neutrals and the beiges and
Like that nuclear orange that we were discussing
Yeah, not that
earlier.
more like pops of nice colors.
Yeah.
You know, somebody might have a really nice office that they want to make it wow factor, and they might do like a deep green with some gold chandelier and some pretty beautiful things.
Gold
like
has come back into play in a major
Yes.
way today.
It has not that bright yellowy gold.
No.
More of the bronzy, brassy, color, but it's beautiful. There's a lot of blues. You see blue cabinetry in kitchens and green
Navy
cabinetry, navy, and even the taupe colors are coming.
Okay.
Yeah, taupe cabinets, because the all-white kitchens, they're kind of fading away. So people are moving to more of a creamy or a
Okay.
taupe or a beige and soften it up. Because a lot of these homes have that as a standard, and I always follow the home. If you don't follow the home and you don't try to do a Tiffany blue, like you said, living room, and you have this Cinco Ranch.
Oh, the whole house.
Oh, the whole house.
Feelings and all.
Wow, that's.
She loved Tiffany.
But if you don't follow the home, you're going to spend a lot on your renovation because you're
Yes.
going to, you changed that. Now I have to change that. Now that doesn't work. Now that doesn't work. Now that doesn't work. So following the home is the best advice I can give somebody if you're going to renovate and update and decorate.
Can you kind of explain or break that down, peel it back a little bit for the viewers to understand, follow the home?
Yeah, so a lot of these homes, like maybe in my neighborhood, we have Georgian homes. They're a little more traditional, transitional style. If you try to do a farmhouse in that home, it just doesn't feel right. You know, we don't have the rustic beams in there, and if you start putting and adding all that, and you start changing all your doors to barn doors or something like that, you really follow the home. So it's high contrast, you know, the dark stairs and then light walls, and you can add rich colors everywhere else. And
Okay.
and light fixtures that aren't Mediterranean, that might be more traditional or might be more elegant, because it's an elegant home.
Sure.
If you have a modern, brand new build, you can do more modern type things because that's the style of your home, and keep working with it. Like we said, you can bring in a cool vintage chandelier, a cool vintage, and mix and match those. It works beautifully. So,
Now, with shapes, like if you look at modern, everything's like harsh lines. Or if you look at the older homes, a little bit more rounded. So do you follow that in your design as well?
yeah, I am seeing that more arches are going to come out, like, you know, more arching, more rounded things are coming out after this modern, because the model homes, you're right.
Yeah, they have big boxes.
They do, but I, you know, people that are fixing up their homes are doing more traditional looking things. And I think the builders will follow. I really do, in time. I think, you know, we're not New York and LA, we're Katy, so it takes us a few years to kind of catch up with some of the trends. We don't want to be New York or LA, sorry, but but they are doing different things there that we might not be doing yet.
Artwork, if you're doing design, what do you gravitate, what do you see in the masses gravitate towards today? I mean, because there's like impressionistic, there's abstract, and there's all different mediums there, I should say.
Yeah, I think you need to follow the colors of your home and the style. If you have a slightly modern home, the abstracts work really beautifully.
Okay.
If you have a more traditional home, you're going to want framed, pretty things like that. And you see the gallery walls. A lot of people are doing those gallery walls with different colored frames and vintage-looking frames. That's pretty. But I really think that you should find an artist that you love or a photographer, and if you love it, bring it into your home, you know, and then you can even put your colors around the art. You can decorate your home around a rug. You can, if you have a vacant home, you have a
Right?
It is. I would have never thought around the rugs.
You can. That's how a lot of people start. I do that a lot. I have a blank canvas. You find a really beautiful big rug in the colors that they love. Then you can pull in furniture, accents, art. It's a great start. It's a great cheat for the new people that want to decorate a new room.
Well, because, yeah, I guess if you're going to do the furniture and stuff, you need to follow a common theme.
Yeah, I mean, setting the color scheme of your room is really important, because once you have the color scheme, that's easy to plan. I think the biggest mistake that Katy homeowners make is they buy all matchy stuff sometimes. You know, it looks like the showroom picture, and they don't.
The whole room's painted in brown.
Yeah.
Brown walls, brown furniture, brown rugs.
And if you have a
some shade,
recliner,
you know?
if you have a recliner in your living room and it's ugly and brown, it's got to go.
Yeah.
Do you have one?
Especially if you
I
want
do
to sell
not.
it
Right.
Putting your house on the market.
I'm more on the modern side.
Okay, good. I see a lot of those, and I say, can we use this in the media room? You know, I move them upstairs a lot.
Garage, the man cave.
And then they might buy furniture that's not to scale. They might have just bought this brand new big house, and they have this little furniture that.
I see that too.
Yeah, they need to really think scale.
When you walk into the office, it's a huge big office, and there's a tiny little desk.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
And those fireplaces, you have those 20-foot ceilings, and then they'll have like little Hobby Lobby decor on the fireplace. You need big and grand things there. You need big mirrors, you need big greenery, tall sticks, you know, huge candlesticks, and simplify.
What about contrasting colors? One of the things that I'm seeing today, we talked about the navy earlier. You'll see like light gray or white cabinets up top, and then maybe a different color for the down below or the center island. Are you seeing a lot of that too?
I do. I don't really like the high-low thing. It bothers my eye personally. If the client loves it, they can love it. I do like the island being a different color. I think that's nice.
Okay, just a splash of color in the middle and keeping everything else the same.
Yeah, it feels like it feels like the kitchen's cut off when I see that half and half thing. It feels like the kitchen gets cut off, light dark, and it just doesn't feel as big and grand to me. But I do like the island color, and you know, I think color is great in a kitchen if it goes with your house. You know, if you have a beigey Cinco Ranch house and you want to paint your cabinets green, probably not.
Beige went out over 10 years ago.
They're
and
still using
I
it.
still see
They're
it
still
today.
using it, yeah.
The repainting with it, it's like, it's
I
gone.
thought it was coming back.
Okay, well,
I
what?
thought they were moving away from, I thought they were moving away from the grays, because we really went into gray
Yeah.
for a long time, right? And grays and silvers, but I thought they were bringing back the neutrals. With the
Alabaster
taupey
white.
green.
That
Alabaster is hot again.
Yes.
People love it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If you have alabaster, you're good.
You're good.
See, what they like about it is it makes your house look light and bright, and that allows you to bring in color in your art, in your rugs. It's clean canvas to start with. And then from there, you can maybe paint the ceiling a moody color in the dining room and put a beautiful chandelier there. So it's a really beautiful way to do it. And there's this thing called color drenching.
Color what?
Color drenching.
I've never heard of that.
So if you have a really gorgeous dining room, you can paint that all one color: trim, ceiling, walls, and it's
So monochrome is what I would call it.
monochromatic.
Okay.
Yes. You drench the whole room with color, and then you add like a big dramatic chandelier, and you make it a statement, and that looks beautiful. It's really pretty.
Not
Very
for
elegant.
selling the
Very
home,
elegant.
for living in the home.
Okay, so some people like to design for resale, and some designers won't take projects like that. They're saying, I want to do something for you, you know. But I do, because I'm an investor, and I know the value of the resale. So if you're thinking you're going to move in 5 years, don't go crazy. You can still have a beautiful home. You can change your light fixtures, your rugs. You can paint a wall here and there, but don't go crazy. Don't do the Tiffany blue.
Or the orange.
Or the orange. Keep it neutral. And people, sellers, you tell me if I'm right or not, they like to walk into a light, bright, white painted home.
They do.
Yeah.
What buyers like to walk into.
I mean, buyers.
Fire.
Good catch.
And pops of color.
Yes.
Yeah, just the.
It's amazing when I get a home ready for photographs or showing. All the blinds, all the windows, you want it as bright as possible.
Yeah.
But the moment that buyer buys the home, they cover all of it up and turn it into a cave, and you can't see anything anymore.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah.
As long as it sells. But you know what? It photographs beautifully with the light paint. That's why
It
everyone loves
does.
it. It photographs absolutely beautifully. Yeah.
Dark colors. I actually have dark color in my office. I did the navy blue. But it's actually sea serpent blue is what I use.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And it just gives it a different vibe, more of a warmth feeling.
Is that where the drum set is also?
No,
That's a separate room.
that's in the studio upstairs.
Well, if you're scared and you want to try something bold and dazzling, do the powder room. Wallpaper it, paint it, put a crazy chandelier in there. That's a good way to get that out of your system.
You know, that's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that a lot for people that are a little scared. And then once they do that, like, okay, now I'm ready to do the office.
What about reds? I painted a room red one time, and it felt like Groundhog Day. I painted, and I painted, and I painted, because it would dry two-tone. It was pinkish red.
Did you test your paint?
It was expensive paint.
That's not the question.
That's enough.
Test your paint. There's a way to test your paint. There's a site called Samplize, Samplize. You can buy paint chips this big, and it will peel off, and you can stick it on very small.
Oh wow!
And test it in various lights,
That's a good tip.
so you can see, hey, this is casting green over
What's
here.
that website again?
Samplize, Samplize, and you just order them online, any paint color,
Okay.
and that saves a lot of people a lot of headache.
Awesome.
And then, you know, because if the light hits it and it's suddenly turning pink, that wasn't what you had envisioned. So, guess what the paint color is coming up for the next year? The hot trending paint color.
Green.
Just guess. No,
Wait, let's make him
That's
guess.
what I was gonna say. Green.
He said green. What is your
that's
guess,
already
Joyce?
hot. That's already hot.
Green. Okay.
It's the perfect blend of gray and taupe.
No, but that's a good guess.
Okay. How about you,
Missy?
Missy?
Purple?
Yes, purpley
Stop.
purpley mauve, pink blushy kind of a thing. I'm not about it. I'm not about it. But maybe a child's room, something like that.
Do we have anybody online that has any questions or?
I have a question. You mentioned wallpaper.
Uh-huh.
Are you still seeing wallpaper being used?
Yes.
And how so?
On a limited basis, people don't want to wallpaper their whole house, but they'll do like a feature room or the powder room. That's a good place to start. Or a ceiling. Ceiling is your fifth wall. A ceiling is your fifth wall.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful statement to look up and see this dramatic ceiling with a dramatic chandelier. So don't be afraid of that. And you can have some fun with wallpaper, you know.
One thing that I noticed with the builders book and the tan walls is they would spray the ceilings in all the same color. Or if you paint that ceiling white, it changes the whole room feels totally different.
It does, but it does bring your eye up.
Yeah.
So do we want to bring the eye up to the ceiling, or do we want to be focused on the room? So they're doing that again, where they're painting it the same color now. That's getting popular again because people are using white. What's the use of having a white with a white trim that's also white? You see what I mean? So that's why a lot of people are just doing the drench and then using the art and the rugs to maybe pretty up and add color to the space.
Well, now speaking of trim, what are you seeing on the trim colors today? Or what?
They're doing the trims the same as the walls a lot.
Okay.
They're seeing, and not a lot of people are making crown molding anymore. Have you seen that in the new homes? They're not doing that very much. Yeah.
Subtracting for profits.
That may be.
They're saying it's a style thing, but I think you're right.
Yeah. Well, they call it the open concept, but you have the kitchen, the dining, the family, the breakfast. It's all one big box with bedrooms wrapped around it.
I think that's going out too. That's going out. People hate that.
I mean, there's just, I don't want 1980s
No
seclusion when you walk through a
personality.
maze.
We want our spaces. You know, mom wants to go somewhere where she can chill. Kids want to hang out at their hangout zone.
It'd be like sitting there, all right, I'm in the kitchen, I sit over here, I'm in the living room,
Yeah.
but I'm still in the same room. It's
I mean, some of them are, I like an open concept somewhat, but not, like you said, with everything open where you can see the whole house when walking.
right. There's got to be a little bit of a transition.
Yeah.
So they're saving money by not putting up walls.
I think she's right.
No walls, no.
We've been
Yes,
scammed.
subtracting.
We have been
profits.
scammed.
Yes.
Because garage doors got very expensive for a while there, so you have to get that.
We're onto the builders.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, but we have been blessed with Katy because we've seen everything being built. You get into areas outside of here, you're buying stuff and rehabbing because that's it.
Yeah.
Or
Here especially, there's no new construction around here, right? Right around here, Cinco Ranch, Katy.
in
It's built
this
out.
5 mile segment, yes. But if you go north 5 miles
Oh, yes.
or south,
Yes.
I mean, we're still in a realm of seeing construction and new builds in changes.
Yes.
Where a lot of people don't get to experience that across America.
Yeah, that's true.
So when I went to Canyon Lake last week, I was shocked at the amount of builders in new neighborhoods and smaller little rural towns.
Yeah, it's growing so fast. The lake's empty. I think they're using that water for infrastructure or something.
It was down 50 or 60 feet.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's bad.
Hopefully it will catch back up sometimes. It takes a while and it does go low and then it goes back to the normal.
But if you want to buy a lake house,
You want a lake?
right now's the but right now's the time to get in.
Oh, that's
Because-
right.
Call Richard if you want a lake house.
Katrina will help you decorate it.
Yes.
That's right.
And then we got the closing over here at Select Title with Joyce.
Yes. And
Easy
we-
breezy.
We close anywhere because we have David Morales,
Yes.
our bilingual floating escrow officer, licensed escrow officer, no extra charge to your clients, which is a nice
That's
benefit
great.
with Select.
And it's somebody that knows the documents. That's one of my
Yes.
biggest frustrations.
Yes, not a mobile notary. Sorry, we love our mobile notary
Yes.
friends. But this is something Select offers that I find unique.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you have a question?
I do.
Oh,
Okay, so this is something I think Richard has seen in some of the homes as well, is that if you have children with a lot of artwork, what's a great way to incorporate that maybe into the decor in your home?
Oh,
If you have artwork from like a 7, 8, 9-year-old.
yeah, so there's plenty of things you can do. I convinced my children that the garage was the place where we hung our special art. And I had a big wall, show wall,
ah,
and you can frame it. Or there's also those, one frame and you put the current art over the old art and you just keep packing it up and the frame is slide in. So you
That's
have one
fun.
frame. It's still
And you give
behind
it
there,
to
you just
them.
save it. Yeah.
When they have their first home, here's all of your artwork
There you
over
go.
12 years.
Yeah. So you can display one piece of art in that frame and just keep using the frame over and over.
Not all over the fridge.
Oh,
With magnets.
My fridge cannot have a magnet on it. And like people try to sneak them on my fridge all the time. I just whip them right out there. Realtors send me stuff. I'm like, I love you, but
Is she
no.
talking about her husband right now?
The side of the
We have a few
fridge
on the side.
is not metal, so I tried that. I tried that.
If it is a stainless steel fridge, it won't work. It's
I only do that on my beer fridge.
You can do it on
My
the beer
adult beverage fridge, I should say.
That's
Yeah.
different. That's different.
But in the kitchen, clean. I like everything tidy.
Me too. And you got this beautiful kitchen that you worked on that's like big, ad on your fridge.
That's a good question.
Welcome to Minnesota.
Yeah.
The trip you went on 10 years ago, you know?
Yeah. I'm also seeing a lot of coffee bars and bars.
Oh, inside the home.
More
Yes.
I've seen parlor type setups too. In
Yeah.
homes.
And like you're seeing the new builds, they're putting shelving in the dining room. Have you seen that? A lot of it. Lots of shelving, so lots of storage cabinets in the dining room with glass fronts and things like that, so you can make it really elegant and have a lot of extra storage in the dining room. I like that.
And you don't have to buy furniture.
That's exactly what I was
That's
thinking.
right. And
Yeah.
you
You
can
don't
paint
have to
it.
buy that big hutch,
So
so
you can
have
paint
to
it a cool
move.
color that you want it for your dining room. You can do your green or your blue or navy, and it looks really custom.
What about smart technology?
Oh man, there's so many things that you can tell your home to do and boss it around. And you can set your lighting to do any color, anything. You can do the kick toe lighting on the floor in the kitchen, special closet lighting. You can walk in a room and it lights up when you walk in. I mean, that is a whole entity unto itself.
Yes.
So yeah, there's a lot you can do with that. Mine's kind of old fashioned. I only have Siri to boss around. I don't boss around my technology for my home. So
I'm light switches.
yeah.
I know.
My
You're
husband put
smart
an
on
automatic light in my closet because he set it up and on all the time. So when I walk in, it pops on for me, and when I leave, it pops off. So it's kind of nice. I like that. And that's just in a switch. You can get that. It's very easy and affordable.
Yes.
A lot of this stuff's already on Amazon. You can just go look for it yourself.
Sure. What about, well, speaking of switches, I mean, you have the old toggle style switches, the flat panels, the sliders. Are you seeing a movement in that?
Yeah, I'm seeing more of the sliders, but you know what I do is I tell my clients to get a dimmer on everything because it sets the mood. If you're having company, your dining room can set the mood. Your breakfast table, you set the mood.
I would agree with that.
Everything's moody, and then you just turn your lamps on, and it looks like beautiful. So yeah, the dimmers, I love a dimmer.
Versus a welding shop.
Even in a bedroom.
And then bright lights when you need them.
Yeah,
right? Sometimes
yes.
you
can
have
light
a
it up,
party.
or you can set the mood and make it moody for the party,
Yeah.
or just to be cozy. Because bright lights, they're not usually cozy.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Anything that you notice, like, do your clients have special needs children, where they may have some visual sensitivities, like our autistic
I
children?
have not
Any
encountered that
requests that you,
I have not
like when you talked about curved, everything is curved. I would think that would be helpful.
More children in general, like they don't want their children injured on furniture, obviously. So we do a lot of rounded tables, maybe with a shelf that the kids can pull themselves up. You can put cute poofs over there so they can pull themselves up, in your living room. So more like little children, I would say, and things that aren't dangerous, cords that they can pull. So you have to think about that in general for children. But that's a good point. Yeah.
That's actually changed in blinds today.
Curious. Yeah,
The older
that's
homes
what I
have the
heard.
cord blinds. The new ones, you just push and pull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very easy.
And that's like coming up
And that's
in
another safety
inspection
issue.
reports now. Have you noticed that?
Uh-huh. Yes.
Yep. So
That's another.
don't get any corded blinds.
I can jump in and out of a lot of trap doors with inspection reports.
I'm sure you've seen it all.
Well, I never say never on that, but I've seen more than I care to.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I don't surprise easy.
How long have you been doing this?
I started practicing real estate in 2001.
Oh, wow.
I'm not from here. I started practicing down here in 09.
Okay.
So I'm from Chicago originally.
Well, you were smart to move to the fastest growing place in Texas.
Right.
Chicago's a great place to come from.
Yeah, it's cold there too.
It is.
Extreme cold, extreme heat. Good job.
Yes. And I moved here in August. I mean, that was a bright idea.
Oh, that's funny.
I felt like I was sitting on Hill's front porch. I mean, literally.
I know.
Oh my God, what's wrong with these people?
110. Welcome to Texas.
I think it was hot.
Sometimes I have people that move here from other states and they say, can we do an open slider along this back thing? We can open up the house. I'm like, do you want alligators, cockroaches, and snakes in your house? If yes, then sure, we'll do that.
And make sure you put it on the west side of the home so that it just beats all that sun.
That's not to mention the sun, yeah.
Yes.
My husband would never, ever go for that because he likes the cold air blowing at him all the time. So, and most people do here. It's humidity.
The sun bakes the paint off the street signs.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
You know, and flooring is important here because we have water, we have swimming pools, we get floods and storms and stuff.
Humidity.
So you need to make sure that you have a floor that can withstand that, which, you know.
Actually, that's on the news. Is it going to be a bad hair day? I mean, and that's what they say. Today's a bad hair day. So
I think it's a good hair day.
Richard asks that question every day. It's gonna be a good.
Lot of hairspray, people.
for people to contact you for your services, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
You can message me through my social media, Yellow Rose Design Katy, or you can email me, Katrina@yellowrosedesign.com. You can find me easy.
Katrina with a K.
With a K, yes.
Which
Katrina.
we do have everything tagged, so you can click and go to her page, as well as check out Joyce, select title, and red line.
Oh, and I do a free question Friday, so if you have a question on your space, you can just message me through Instagram or email that email, and I will answer. People will send me pictures of their room, and I will tell you how to improve it. We should have done that up front.
Yes.
No,
We're gonna have to have Katrina back.
Save that little nugget for the end.
You have to watch to the end to get that.
That's right. You paid your dues.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions before we wrap up, folks? I think we covered a lot of ground today. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
the
That was
tips.
fun.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we will see you next week.
Bye.